Hey everyone, welcome to the Jonesboro Open, presented by Pro Discus. I'm Sarah Holcomb here with Paige Pierce to call the shots. We're in round 2, the front 9. On the card, we have some very familiar faces. Paige Pierce with a 7 down from the first round. Catrina Allen, 1 back. Rebecca Cox, 2 back. And Finnish superstar Henna Blomroos is 3 back in her first Pro Tour debut. We're at Disc Side of Heaven in Jonesboro, Arkansas. A great mix of huge rolling hills and variable winds to test all the players' skills.
Yeah, I'm excited to bring you guys some commentary from Henna's first tournament in the States ever. So,
yeah, and it's also her first tournament of the year. She hasn't played even over in Europe yet this year.
Yeah, she was saying that she came in a week and a half early to get some practice in because it was a cold winter, so here it comes.
Starting out on hole 1, 380 feet, pretty straightforward. Rolling hills, you got a hill right in the middle. You're kind of flexing around that hill. There is a water hazard on the right that you can't see, but this is a very, very gettable hole. Kind of choose your own adventure and showcase your distance.
Absolutely. Like Sarah said, there's this hill that you have to crest over. If you have a little bit too much angle, you're going to kind of cut roll and come up short, and all your competitors are probably going to have a putt.
That's Brad Peets, the designer and tournament director. He's really into course design. He's put a lot of time and effort into making this course as amazing as it is.
Yeah, and in the players meeting the night before the tournament, they kind of let us know that there was 8 weeks ago there was nothing but tall grass, and so the course looks incredible for what you see on the left side right there. It used to look just like that.
Ooh, a little wide there.
Yeah, I kind of late released it. Yeah, just
a little bit of first hole nerves.
Maybe so. Also, just having the rain jacket on, a little bit layers and stuff like that. But it's okay. I still got down there.
Yeah, the weather, we're in the mid-50s, very light winds. It's just a little bit chilly. So far, we've been haven't had any rain yet.
And Catrina's up with her D2. This is a pretty routine shot for her. She knows this disc is overstable, so she just wants to put it out right of the basket, and it stalls perfectly inside the circle on the left side.
See that really awesome ticker they have up there, that nice display for all the players and all the fans out there. There's some nice bleachers also behind hole 1 for great spectating.
Yeah, it's awesome to see big crowds out here. It's in the middle of the nowhere, and there was a whole media day the day before the tournament.
It's impressive.
The radio station was out and all that. Rebecca throwing her trespass. She throws this thing really well. She puts a good little turn on it, and it gets way up there. She's just outside the circle, but her putt's been looking good lately, and, I think she's going to feel pretty comfortable there. All right, and Henna is up on this one. She's throwing a Titan, which is a Pro Discus mold that is a fairway driver. So it's only speed 9 or 10. I'm not positive on that, but she told me it's similar to my Felon.
Oh, so it's like a Firebird.
Yes, it is.
So she's throwing a Firebird
380 feet. Yeah.
That just goes to show what kind of power she has.
And parked it.
Yeah, she got, a 12-footer there?
On a pure hyzer. She didn't even have to get that thing to flat. It was hyzer the whole way. It's truly speaks to the power that she has as a player.
Rebecca from about 40 feet. Cans it.
Great putt to start the round.
Oh, yeah.
Outside the circle. You're farthest out and you make that putt. You're feeling good going into hole 2 for sure.
That puts some pressure on the rest of y'all.
Absolutely. I definitely was thinking about that. Yeah, little left side for me. Honestly, it's okay. It's outside the circle. I'm not supposed to make those, but I definitely want to. But
you're Paige Pierce.
It's round 1.
Everything.
It's round 1. I mean, hole 1. I'm sorry.
Hole 1, round 2.
So Catrina, this is where her D2 ended up. She's well within her comfort zone. She's about 15 to 16 feet and should be pretty routine for her.
Yep, easy.
Starting off with a birdie. We have a lot of women's pads at this course, I noticed.
Yeah, I don't know the exact count.
I think it's 9 or 10. They actually moved one back that you'll see later in the coverage, but you know, them doing this and giving us this many women's pads, it allows us to have a lot of birdie looks. So hopefully you guys will be able to see some of us capitalize on quite a few birdies this round.
With round 1 scores coming in with several players under par, that's always a nice change from some of the gold courses.
Absolutely.
So here we are, hole 2. There's a couple options. The flyover is giving you the left side, which is not really the side most people throw. There's actually a hyzer route off the tee that sets the player up with an uphill lie up to the basket. They'll be throwing about maybe a 300-foot hyzer and then another 300-foot up that hill to try to get the birdie.
Yeah, like Sarah said, you definitely want to go up the right side. The left side is if you're sidearm dominant maybe, or if you just have a different plan. But going up the right side, just like Kat did, is absolutely how you're going to get farthest progress down the fairway. So you're going to see all 4 of us take that line. It's just a matter of how much hyzer you put on it to push that distance.
If you throw it too far straight, you're going to be kind of in these bushes on the right, and if it hyzers out too early, you'll be behind these other bushes up a hill. So there's definitely a premium landing zone.
Yeah, that red stake you see, you want to be anywhere by that, and Henna just blew past it. She went 40 past it, and she's in prime position. This one I pulled a little bit wide, so I'm going to be challenged by those bushes on the right. I'm not quite in them, but it's going to change my angle. So you want to make sure to throw a more severe hyzer on this hole.
Cat a little low up that hill, but it had enough to get her inside the circle for a comfortable putt.
On your card, did you have anybody go up that left side?
Christina
Okay.
Lincecum, who is
She's
a lefty.
Yeah.
And I actually do go up the right side with a sidearm. I like the approach better from there.
Do you find how long is your approach on that when you go that way?
250.
Okay, nice. So I'm going with my gatekeeper here. It's straight to understable mid-range and just putting a little turn on it since I had those branches in my way. Good angle, just a tiny bit long, but still well within the circle.
And Henna's got just maybe 150, 180 feet here.
Yeah, like I said, she pushed that red stake and she had a standstill putter approach. Not much more you can ask for. It's her Sparta.
I like this hole a lot. I think there's a lot of great strategies you can employ. A lot of choices.
Absolutely. I think, and that I could say that about most of the course too. Like there's lots of big trees that you have to navigate around, left side, right side, whatever you want to choose. But so it calls for, lots of decisions to be made. It's cool
Rebecca
to watch.
with the birdie, feeling that putt. That was a long one.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't
another two in a row.
Yeah. It wasn't quite as long as the first hole, but it was a big one to make, and to go 2 under through 2 holes.
Oh. We'll splash out.
Yeah.
Another left side.
Yeah, left side seems to be my problem right now. I'm aiming at the basket as a whole, and I need to be following through at the pole. So, I'm thinking that to myself as I'm walking away. And Catrina, again, only has about a 15-footer. So, she's setting herself up to get these birdies and to be stress-free on the putt.
Veteran style, showing why she is #1 in Pro Tour points right now.
Absolutely.
2 for 2.
Walking up there confidently, grabbing her putter out, and she's ready for hole 3.
Now Henna also for the birdie and unrated in the Pro Tour because she has not played an event yet.
Yeah, I wish she would
come over here and tour.
Extend her tour a little bit.
I agree. Maybe she'll be at Worlds.
Maybe.
Easy putt.
She's 19 years old, first time to the States ever. It's a Pro Discus event, which is her sponsor, so you have to assume that that's part of the reason she's over here. Pro Discus isn't the sponsor of Worlds, but maybe once he sees what she can do against the best in the world,
maybe he'll foot the bill to get her over here. That'd be great. Hole 3, 310 feet, relatively wide open, slightly uphill, with only danger is on that left side. So if your hyzer gets away from you and pushes left side, or if the lefty or sidearm shot flexes a little too far left, you can get in trouble over there. But otherwise, it's within range for most of the players, and we'll see what they can do.
Yeah. Catrina with her D1 here. She's going to aim wide because this thing is overstable. Just not quite wide enough, but honestly,
she was going for the ace
still
there.
Fine. Yeah, you think she was? Yeah, about 25 deep left. I mean, nothing to be sad about, but she definitely wanted to go a little bit wider if I had to guess. Rebecca put a nice little turn on her Ballista Pro and got a little skip. She's just inside the circle. And this is Henna again with that Titan, the same one she threw on hole 1, which, let us remind you, is a fairway driver.
An overstable fairway
driver. She's about 15 left, which is a great correction because in round 1 she went OB left.
I wondered where that bogey came from.
Yeah. So this is me with my Lucidex Felon. It's, I would guess, the one that would compare to her Titan. I just went a little bit wider after seeing her end on the left.
Rebecca for a turkey. Can she make this the easiest putt of the 3? Oh,
just an inch low. It looked good though. Center, dead center, just a tiny bit low.
Is low.
Yeah, which is actually a pretty good miss.
Yeah.
If you have to rate misses. I mean, honestly, out here, that's something I don't want to try to do. But out here with all these baskets on
contagious.
Elevated greens.
Cat's got a case of the cage.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that.
Man, they both had the chance to go 3 in a row.
I was very surprised to see that.
We'll see if Henna can get it.
And this is for Henna to go 2 in a row and to get the box.
There it is. Smooth.
And she's putting with the... Is this the Sparta?
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe so. There it is. No left side anymore. There we go. 3rd time's a charm. And hopefully all the other ones after that are charmed.
Yes.
Living that charmed life. One of the easier holes out here, the field yielded 33% birdies. One of the higher birdie rates. And the entire field was 0.17 under par.
Oh, that's nice.
Hole 4 is a par 4, 630 feet. Off the tee, there is a low ceiling with this branch coming across that you're going to try to get under, but then still get distance, so it's a little tricky. A lot of players are going to flex a shot to get up kind of by that pole on the left side. And then the next shot, you're navigating a little bit of OB on the left side, trying to stay right of it, and a sloped green with a pyramid basket.
Yeah, there's not too much danger on your first shot, but your second shot, like Sarah was just telling you guys, lots of OB can come into play with it on the left and behind. But on this first shot, we're just trying to keep it low under these branches and try to get it as far as we can so our second shot is a little bit easier.
Little off to the left there, but as a primary backhand thrower, she'll have the hyzer to the basket.
Yeah, and I actually asked her during this round, do you ever throw sidearm? And she laughed and she said, no, never.
She has pretty good English. I was able to have
she
little
totally
bit of conversation.
Great English, and especially for her first time in the States.
They aren't taught English in Finland as part of their regular schooling.
But she's really outgoing and wants to talk to everybody, so that's probably part of why she knows it so well.
It's a great position by that pin. Those red marked pins are 250 feet from the basket. and the blue ones are 400.
Catrina here with a first run D1. This is from a disc from 2013, so she knows this disc like the back of her hand.
Hyzer flip. Probably wanted a little more flip there.
Yeah, she did, but I think a little bit of hesitation in that commitment because she didn't want to be right. You know, over there to the right side, there's this big tree and also an OB bush.
Have you considered the hyzer here?
I have not on this one. It seems very straightforward going up that straight gap, especially with that OB on the right side. So I did look at it, but I didn't even practice it because I didn't want that temptation.
Everybody kind of throwing a very similar shot off to the left side and within range to get up and down, but these are some big shots. And OB left side, so any bit of hesitation, you can hyzer out and take another extra stroke that you did not want.
And this one, Catrina's same D1, pulls it a little bit wider and commits to it, but a little too wide and leaves herself just outside the circle deep. We actually couldn't tell if it was even OB or not from back there.
Yeah, that the approach is tricky with any kind of ground play you get. You risk that roll away on that slope. And it slopes. It's a little bit of a side hill sloping to the OB from the basket.
Yeah, Rebecca with that awesome shot with her Explorer. She got well within the circle. And this is me with my suspect. Great distance, a little bit left, but I'm really happy with that. Just anything in bounds and in the circle.
It's not a terrible miss, I suppose, to get to be OB there right by the basket. You can still save your par, even if you do end up getting out of bounds.
But like you said, those red stakes are 250, and I was just past it, so I knew it was a slow
That
speed.
had a lot. Ooh.
She actually hit the white crest, whatever you want to call it, the white, sponsor sign. We heard it loud and clear, and when we got up there, we were surprised to see that it was, 25 to 30 feet.
Had a lot of heat coming in.
Yeah, it did. That was also her driving putter, the Sparta.
So Cat for birdie from the edge of the circle. And Henna for birdie. Ooh, a little bit low.
Tiny bit low.
Those baskets are higher than they feel when you're looking at them.
Yeah, and especially you see the wind blowing right at her. She had to probably have that in her mind as well.
And Rebecca, we'll see if she can make that adjustment from the last hole on the tall basket.
Yeah, from the side of the green that she's on, you're almost even with it. It's almost like it's a straight on putt.
Snuck it in. So Rebecca is playing great. 3 for 4 here to start.
She's playing amazing, and this is something I actually spoke out loud after last weekend at the Nick Hyde Memorial, that she has a really big win coming. I agree. I mean, feel it.
She's ranked 11 in the world, 5th in the Pro Tour, but she's been averaging 970 over the last 5 rounds. It's
amazing.
She's played, so she is finding her stride here.
She's getting more and more confident, and you can see that just on the green. She, even when she doesn't get her drive exactly where she wants, she's connecting on those putts.
On to hole 5. Par 3, 345 feet, downhill with OB on the right side and then an OB stream just in front of the basket. This one is a risk reward. If you have the distance, the players are going to go for it, but we're only seeing a handful of players will likely go push the green. Most players are likely going to lay up and then either get a putt from there, have a putt, or throw just a simple upshot to get their 3.
On this card, a lot of us are going for it. We know every stroke counts, and for me yesterday, I pulled this one OB, and I knew the correction I needed to make. This is my felon. Made it to 20 feet or so, and
Great shot. We watched
Thank you.
that from the second card.
Thank you. This is Rebecca with her Explorer, and she's actually trying to lay this one up.
I think I only really saw one other player actually go for this green. And that was Jessica Weiss.
Okay.
I don't think anyone else actually is going for this green outside
Henna went
of
for
your
this
card.
one. Yeah,
outside
okay.
of your card.
Yes. So Henna goes for this one. She is throwing her lasery.
She didn't quite get that flipped up like she wanted.
No, and we couldn't tell if this was safe or not, but the guy down there started clapping. She actually assumed she was going to be going to the drop zone because any OB goes to the drop zone on this hole.
Cat also laying up. It kind of surprises me.
I was surprised with that as well, but honestly, worst case, a par loses you a stroke, and she knows that, as one of the best players, women's player to ever play the game, she knows that she can make up a stroke at some point. So,
well, with only 3 people actually trying to get the birdie, it's probably a smart play.
Right.
This
stress-free.
The veteran play there.
Yeah, stress-free par. Mm-hmm. In my mind, I'm thinking every stroke I can possibly get, might as well try for it.
Especially if it's within
people are playing hot.
Yeah, especially if it's within your abilities, within your game.
Rebecca, this putt out of her hand looked amazing from across the creek.
Yeah, there's still that long
She's
putt,
on.
even with the layup.
And Henna had a great height, just a little bit to the right side.
And Paige for 2. Left side.
A tiny bit low and left. Yeah, yep. I got no words for that one. Missed it.
No
Sometimes you miss.
The wind. I just let out my hair.
Okay, James Conrad, working
look
it.
at that hair.
The other 10%.
Black Ink is a huge supporter of the Pro Tour. Thank you guys so much. Love seeing your walls all across the course. And
Henna with the cleanup.
My friends.
I love the James hair flip. It's good.
So no birdies here. But actually, the one birdie on the day was Jessica Weiss.
Was it? Okay.
And she actually got this hole both days.
Good for her.
She is the only one that got it both days.
It's a great one to get.
Conditions are still relatively favorable here. A little bit of wind. But it's really not over 10 miles an hour. So it's not, it's something to change your shots a little bit, but very little. Moving on to hole 6. 315 feet downhill island hole. You can see the front side of the island has the grip 6 fence, and then there's a wooden fence on the outside. There is also a drop zone that actually is on this side of the water, so you do have to throw over the water if you miss the island off the tee shot. It's a very gettable hole, but it's very tricky with a little bit of elevation change, and that big pine tree on Paige's right is actually going to block the wind a bit, so you may have some surprises halfway up the fairway.
Yeah, and if you're throwing an overstable disc, that pine tree does get in your way because you want to swing that overstable disc out wide. So a lot of us are throwing medium to straight discs so that we can go right at the basket and not sail OB on the left side.
Definitely plays to a sidearm or a lefty.
It totally does. The lefty or sidearm, you have nothing in your way. And Rebecca here with her Explorer again. She was praying for this one to get over.
Wow, it almost looked like it went through the post.
It hit this post. It hit the top of the post and skipped off it. And
my gosh.
She was audibly excited.
So you have that left to right wind here that's going to push everything just a little bit further right than you may be expecting.
Mm-hmm. And this is Henna Blomroos with her Madari. This is an overstable mid-range that she's put a little turn on and got to fly practically flat. Mm-hmm. Amazing shot on a very technical hole. Catrina with her M2, pretty similar to her Madari, so she knows the correction she needs to make and just a little bit more left. Parks
City.
It. Yeah, and Catrina and I were talking on the walk across the bridge that this is for both of us. That was the first card that we played on where we all 4 made the island.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 missed island on my first round and 2 out of 4 missed island on my second round.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, it's actually, it's playing as the fourth most difficult hole.
Really?
But what's odd about it is that there's 40% of the field is getting a birdie. Most of the time when we have difficult holes, very few people are getting the birdies. So this one,
it's a 2 or a 4, essentially, with that drop zone on the tee side of the water. It's a 2 or a 4.
So only 13% of the field got par, whereas 40% birdied and 47% bogeyed.
Interesting stats. And like you see on this card, once Catrina taps out here from her about 9-footer, we picked up a star birdie. And we all, kind of group high five on the next tee pad because we had never even seen that.
Yeah, wow.
And Henna even mentioned this is one of her favorite holes on the course, that she really enjoys throwing this hole.
A lot of great holes out here, including this next one, hole 7, 545 feet, par 4. First shot is slightly uphill. You're going to try to basically get as much distance as you can, but the backhand is going to be blocked by that tree you see, so you're going to have to kind of throw a hyzer to flat shot going out left. And then the next shot is actually more of a left to right shot. So a really well-rounded player is going to have an advantage here.
Yeah, I think the optimal shot is to be left of that big tree in the center. You can definitely be on the right side, but to have the easier approach, you want to be left of it.
So you're not throwing a distance shot there. You're throwing kind of a power shot.
Yeah, a low power shot that pushes forward, and I know is going to be overstable at the end, so I choose my Biofusion Defender. Rebecca throws her Ballista Pro, which is a little bit faster than a Defender, but just as overstable. So she's going to be on the left side as well. And Henna here, she was upset. You could see that as soon as she let it go. But with that hill on the right side, she kind of glided right over it, and the right side's still fine.
Yeah, just more extreme angle to get into the pin, or you have to risk the kind of fence line there that guards the green.
Mm-hmm.
Kat got a nice move on that. She's actually looked like she pretty much threw a distance shot.
Yeah, she's throwing her D2 here. That's what she throws when she wants her max distance. So she's just trying to crash it out into that tall grass and set up for the easy sidearm in.
Rebecca, from a couple hundred feet, turned it over a little bit.
A little. She was, it really surprised me because you didn't see it on the camera, but she was lining up a sidearm. And I was like, Rebecca throwing a sidearm? I don't even ever see her throw those. She went with the backhand, but...
Oh, Henna challenges the trees, the blocker trees, and gets through. Fortunate.
I also contemplated the sidearm here, but, it was standstill distance and just...
Oh, you just can park it from there. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That works.
Yeah, I got
too.
farther than I expected to on my drive.
It's a slightly uphill shot as well, so when you're throwing that turnover, it's really easy to turn it a little early.
It is.
And end up kind of in those trees, kind of where Rebecca is.
Yeah. But, she had an opportunity at birdie. She misses, but still, a tap-in par is fine out here.
Yeah, this is actually a new tee for the ladies. We teed from the MPO tee last year, and nobody got the birdie the whole tournament on the ladies' side. So they switched it up and gave us a different tee, and now we're seeing, now it's actually the easiest hole. So maybe they overdid it a little bit. Or maybe everybody's just a little bit better, which might be the case.
That's probably true as well.
I think that's really close, yeah.
We're all trying, especially with how hot scores are becoming and more competitors, we're getting better.
I agree. Hole 8, 324 feet. You can't really see the pin from here. It's tucked around that large group of trees and bushes, but it's tucked just around it and up a hill with a side hill and a pyramid basket. So the shot is really, I think, a sidearm that's going to cut right, but it also will work out great for a slow turning anhyzer for the backhand. We got a little bit of a headwind here though, so it's going to make that backhand turnover a little bit more technical.
Yeah, so I'm choosing to go sidearm here. I know it's not quite in my range, but I'm okay with having a jump putt on this hole. I feel like it's a bonus birdie. I go with my Biofusion Defender and just don't get it quite wide enough, but I'm just outside, you know, I'm about circle two's edge, so I'm okay with that. Henna's throwing her Madari here, which is her straight to understable mid-range.
Really wide, which is what you got to do to get around those trees.
Yeah, and just lets it float and glide, which is...
kind of snuck through there. That might not have worked out the same way another day.
Yeah. Catrina here with her M4. She's throwing close to the same line as Henna, but she puts a little bit too much turn on it, and she gets caught up in those bushes on the right. Kind of eliminates any birdie chance that you may have had.
And Rebecca learns from the first two and try and make sure she doesn't turn it too much.
Yeah, but unfortunately that one gives her no chance at birdie.
Those early bushes and tree on the right side are definitely dangerous. Either have to go out and around them if you're pinched, or through them, which through them there's a bunch of little vines and little things to just catch you.
Yeah. For me personally, I don't feel like this is one that you... I feel like this is one you can be aggressive on, though, because even when you go in those bushes, you can get up and down.
Great putt.
Or you can just throw a great shot like Henna and connect on a 33-footer. Great putt, elevated basket right in the center of the change.
And this one is just asking for rollaways. The hillside is not as obvious from the footage, but it's definitely, I think everybody on my card laid up.
Kind of the story of Jonesboro is the greens, you know? They're all sloping.
Absolutely. So hole 9, 715 par 5. Off the tee, you're throwing downhill. The righties are going to throw a straight, flat shot, the little hyzer left, and the lefties are going to throw a distance shot to get as far up there as they can.
Yeah, you saw that red pole, like Sarah spoke about a few holes ago. It's 250 feet. If you can get to that red pole, you are in a great position. But to get there, you kind of have to work the disc, which then you could end up to the right by that tree that you see down there. Kind of where Henna's headed right now. And now she's going to have to navigate past that tree.
She wanted to be further left there, I assume.
Definitely. She didn't mean to put that much ante on it, I believe. So for me, yesterday, I hyzered out a little bit too far to the left. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, turn it a little bit more. And I turned it a lot more. So it's still in the open, which is great, but I'm going to be left with quite a bit harder of an approach.
Cat gets a little turn as well. Trying to miss that tree.
Yeah, that D2 has a lot of stability, though, so at the end of the flight, it kind of hooked up, and she's going to be just on the left side of that tree.
A little too much for Rebecca as well. Dropping her down. That kind of takes the birdie out of it the eagle out of it.
Yes.
This is actually
definitely
one of the few eagleable holes, which you got yesterday.
I did, yes. And this time, I'm kind of out of position, but I realize there's no bad thing that can happen if I still try. So I try to throw my defender on an anhyzer and just, again, put it a little too sharp.
That big bushy tree on the left side actually I've seen it catch a lot of players because you don't quite realize how far it is up the hill.
Right.
And it hyzers out a little early and leaves you kind of blocked under there for your approach, which is a tricky approach to a downhill green with water to the right.
Mm-hmm. This is Rebecca with her trespass. She turns it to avoid the tree that Sarah's speaking of and just hits that hill a little on the upslope. So luckily it sat right there, but she's now taken the eagle fully out of play. Henna's going with a high stalling putter shot. just to get around the tree and progress forward. And she's going to be in good position for the birdie. Catrina sized that one up for a while, thinking backhand, sidearm, and, good decision for the birdie. But I think if she wanted the eagle, she could have had it. It would have been a demanding shot, but I think she could have had it if she tried the backhand.
She definitely has the distance to get that eagle.
You have to assume she just didn't want to weigh the risk there. This one came out a little bit with too much hyzer, and so I'm going to be left on the left side outside the circle. Not a good position to be in.
Rebecca, sidearm.
Yes.
Lining up the sidearm.
Yeah, so like I said, she was lining up a sidearm a few holes ago and didn't throw it, but
wow.
here she finally throws
that
it.
That looks great.
It was so buttery smooth. It was with her verdict. I asked her because I was like,
yeah.
Sidearm?
Huh.
She's been working on it, she said.
It shows.
And, maybe that accounts for a lot of the 970 plus golf you were just talking about.
Possibly.
Henna with her backhand.
This is her third shot. Hoping to put it close for the birdie.
Nice little turn on it.
Close enough, it looks.
Slow speed, so it stays on that downhill green.
Got a nice gallery there following you guys.
Yeah, there was a good amount of people. Especially out there when they think it's going to rain. It's cool to have some troopers out there with us.
Whew. Good height.
Yeah, thank you. A little bit right, but, I had been missing left, so.
Nothing like an overcorrection.
And Rebecca to connect on that amazing sidearm
for
approach.
A birdie.
Awesome way to end the front nine, and like we said,
especially after that miss off the tee.
Yeah, amazing. That puts her to 5 under for the round. And she's now tied with Henna going into the back nine, Henna and Catrina. And it's a tight battle.
Henna for birdie. There she goes. That puts her 7 out of 9 birdies on the front. Bogey free, 7 out of 9.
And she's counting it. Yeah, she's incredible to play with. I play with her a few times because I've been lucky enough to go to Europe, but like we said, this is the first time in the States, and for a lot of you, the first time you're seeing her play. So, it's awesome to have the Disc Golf Pro Tour have this coverage, and for you guys to be able to see one of the best female players in the game throwing really amazing shots.
Kat also with the birdie. So wow. So that finishes the front nine, and you guys killed it. You went bogey free. Henna with a 7 down, which that was the hot score on the whole round yesterday. Kat with a 5 down. Rebecca with a 5 down, and you're right there with a 4 down. So wow, that was some amazing golf. We'll see you guys on the back nine. It's exciting.
Yes.